Hey everyone, welcome to this this Vinyasa flow practice with me, Laura, from Budding Rose Yoga. I'm really honoured that you're able to join me today. Today we're just going to go with the flow. We're just going to see what unfolds. So grab yourself your mat, somewhere really quiet that you know you're not going to be disturbed. So pick a room. If you have blocks, happy days. If you don't, anything can be used instead of that, such as a water bottle, anything that's quite sturdy that you can bring your hand onto. So don't fret if you don't have a block. If you have a strap, if you know that you use it in your practice, definitely grab one. But again, if you don't have one of these, don't worry about it. You can use a tie, you can use a sock. But yeah. Handy, but don't worry if you don't have it. Okay, and then all I'm going to ask you to do is to come into a really comfortable place, and that might be lying down, or that might be seated. So just find that place, take a moment to explore what it is that you need in this moment. And it really doesn't matter what that looks like. Just giving you the opportunity to just be still, just allow your body to come into stillness. And once you find that place, give yourself permission to be there without the need to change it or the need to fix it. And that is our centering theme of our practice today. That sometimes in moments of chaos and uncertainty, we naturally seek to grasp onto the things that make sense, the things that are clear, the things that are routine, the things that give us a sense of grounding and perspective. And I totally get that that's kind of where we're at right now. But it's really okay if nothing makes sense. And it's really okay if you are not in a place where you're able to find that strength right now. It is totally okay if you are in a place where you feel really vulnerable, maybe still really emotional, maybe still really raw. So this really is a practice for you today to just be with whatever that might be, whatever is going on for you in this moment, without the need to try and change it, without the need to remedy it or fix it. Just allowing yourself to be. I want you just to take a moment in whatever position you found yourself in, to, with your sweet attention, to scan from the very top of your head, tracing down your features of your face, relaxing your eyes behind your eyelids. Let your lower jaw feel heavy, and let it fall away from the skull. So there's a real sense of softening, making a space between your back teeth. And then I want you to swallow and relax your throat. Let your shoulders feel really heavy. Relax your elbows. Dropping your attention down to your fingertips. then trace your spine. Notice how it suspends itself in space without effort, dissolving any tension around your lower back, your hips, the heaviness of your thigh bones, relaxing the space just behind your knees, taking your attention slowly down to the soles of your feet, and whatever they come into contact with, even if it's just space, let your attention reside there for a moment. Giving yourself complete and utter permission to be here. I want you now to just take a further pause to ask yourself, without any judgment, without any guilt, what is it that you need from your practice today? What do you need from this time on your mat? Bring your attention now to the tip of your nose, and I want you to take a really slow and steady breath in. Fill yourself up. And then exhale through the mouth, let it go. And again, deep breath in. Fill your belly, your ribs, your shoulders. And out through the mouth, let it go. One more time. Let your attention slowly return to your body, maybe with some movement. Feeling back into this room that you're in. And if you're not already, I'm going to ask you really slowly and in your own time to come up and join me in a seat. Doesn't matter what that seat looks like. Keep your eyes closed if you're comfortable with that. And I'd like us to take a collective sound of Om together. So let your palms join together. Drop your internal gaze towards your heart. Take a slow and steady breath in. Exhale it out completely. Inhale, we prepare. Sahana bhavatu, sahano bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavai, tejasvinavate tamastu, ma vitvisharavai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. in sweet time. Let yourself come into child's pose. So keeping the knees wide if that feels really good for you. A really nice way to open the hips gently. So toes joining together at the back of the mat. Knees as wide as they feel comfortable. And allow your arms to reach out in front. Creeping the fingertips forward. And then just taking a moment to massage your head from right to left. Any tension dissolving. It's like you're giving yourself this little sweet massage. And just for a moment, it's as though all of your worries and concerns are just melting into the ground. And then come to neutral. Let your third eye press heavily into your mat. Relax your eyes, your mouth. And take your attention down to your belly. And I really want you to fill your belly up. It's like you're breathing like a baby. Taking a moment to expand into your lower back, into your ribs, into the shoulder blades, into the arms, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Take another slow and steady breath in like that. Exhaling everything out. And then creeping into tabletop. So taking your weight into all fours. Bringing the hips above the knees. Spreading your fingers wide. And with the breath, find your cat-cow. And it might be that you take about 5 rounds, exploring, opening the heart, the chest, as you inhale. Rounding the back as you empty the breath, pressing the floor away. And as you continue to move in that way, be curious as to how your body feels today. Maybe this is the first practice that you've done in a little while. Or maybe you've had the opportunity to practice a little bit more, and that's okay. But really an opportunity for you to recognize however you feel, without any expectation, without any judgment. And then when you've taken maybe about 5 rounds, an opportunity for you to come into downwards facing dog. So from a neutral place, bring the hands slightly further forward, tuck the toes, hover the knees and lift the hips up and back. And again, I want you to continue with your exploration. Yeah, maybe your eyes are closed. Maybe there's a lot of movement. Bending the knees, maybe one at a time. Shaking out your head if that feels good. Or maybe you feel really inclined to be still, yeah. So just honoring whatever it is that you need in this moment. And then from here, let's bring the feet forward, tiptoeing your feet all the way forward, coming together eventually. In between the hands, keep your knees really, really soft. And we'll slowly peel up to stand, coming all the way up. And then when you arrive, allow your attention to really drop down into your feet, spreading to all of your toes, lifting into the arches of the feet to lengthen and bring energy away from the ground into you. So you're drawing all the energy from Mother Earth right now, yeah. Lifting and lengthening where you feel comfortable, making space where you feel is needed. And let's move through some movement with breath. And remember, this is your time, and you have the beauty to stop anytime you need, to rest anytime you need. So from the top of mat, from Tadasana, let's take a deep breath in and reach the arms above the head, expanding through body. And then hands together in prayer at the heart, exhaling. Let's do that one more time. So breathe in and reach up, lengthening through fingertips. And exhale, hands join together. We can move a little bit more dynamically now if that feels okay. Reaching up, deep breath in. As you exhale, tip forward, let the knees be soft so that your hands can move toward the floor, let the head relax. Let's slide the hands to the shins, look forward, legs are straight, arms are straight. And then bend the knees and fold, relax the face. Let's come back to stand, lift up through fingers, look up. And then exhale, hands together in prayer. We'll do that one more time, a half salutation. Inhale, reach up, lengthen. Exhale, fold, bending the knees, relaxing the belly. Inhale, slide the hands to the shins, spine is long. Exhale, we fold, knees soft, relax face. And then reach fingers up, look up, deep breath in. And exhale, hands together, Samastitihi. Continue with your breath. Inhale, reach up and lengthen. Exhale, fold, bending the knees, hands to either side of the feet, relax your head. Either hands to shins or fingers stay on the floor as you look forward, halfway lift. We'll take a step back with the right foot, bring the knee down. Take a pause here, fingertips light on the ground. Allow the hips and pelvis to move forward. And lift the heart, expand through the shoulders. From here, downwards facing. Take the left foot and step it back. Taking a slow, steady breath in. Complete breath out through your mouth. And again, deep inhale. And side out. From here, right foot comes between hands. Left knee down. Lift the heart space, keep the fingers on the floor for a moment. Hips moving forward, belly is soft. Taking the left foot and stepping it forward, forward fold. Keep your knees soft. Lift up to stand, reach up, look up, deep breath in. And then exhale, let's fold, bend the knees, hands down. Halfway lift, look forward, deep breath. Left foot steps back. As you exhale, bring the knee to the floor, point your toes back, lift your heart, keep the hands on the ground for the moment, but relax your arms. Let's come back to down dog. Step the right foot back, hips high, heels melting downward. Again, deep breath in, fill yourself up. Out through your mouth. And again, deep breath in. And sigh it out. Left foot between hands. Right knee down, point your toes behind you, lift your heart and expand. Just move the right foot forward, feet together, bend your knees. Lift all the way up to stand, reach fingers up, look up, deep breath in. And exhale, let's fold. Forward fold, relax the face. Inhale, look forward, halfway lift. As you exhale, right foot steps back. Option, keep the knee lifted this time. Fingertips again, light on your mat. Lift your belly away from your thighs so your legs are taking you. Yeah, your legs are holding you right now. There's softness and effortlessness through arms and shoulders. Let's step back to plank. Tabletop is an alternative if you need more support, bring the knees to the floor. Or inhale, stay. And exhale, stay. Deep and slow breath in. And then downward facing as you exhale, press the hips back. Bring the right foot in between the hands. Again, option, the back knee can be down. Lift the heart, lift the chest, look forward. And this time let's see if we can reach the arms up. Coming into crescent lunge. If this feels too much, just be where you need to be. Slow and steady breath, filling your belly, filling your ribs and your shoulders. And as we exhale, let's lower the hands and bring the left foot forward. Keep your feet a little bit wider, yeah, so slightly apart. A deep bend in the knees, look forward. Let's come to chair pose. Take the arms forward. Either keep the arms parallel to the ground or take them up by your ears. If that feels too much, Keep them forward in space. Feeling your belly, filling your back, fill your spine with your breath. And let's take the hands together in prayer at the heart, staying deep in your seat. Into a twist to the right side, leaning slightly forward with your chest, tailbone pointing back. And take the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. And I really want you to keep the feet a little bit wider here, so there's a bit more stability perhaps around your lower back. Let the twist come from your belly. Yeah, as you draw your chest around to the side, thumbs meeting the chest, chest spinning to thumbs. Take another slow breath in. Exhale, forward fold, let the hips rise up. Relax the face. And from here, let's bring the feet back to touch. A bend in the knees, reach the arms forward and up. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands together in prayer. Let the arms reach up. Deep breath, fill yourself up. Exhale, tip forward and fold. Inhale, lift halfway, look forward. And left foot back as you exhale, pause. Option again, knee could be down. Keep the hands on the floor for the moment, but bring your fingertips lightly on your mat. Yeah, so your thigh, your front thigh is active, lifting through the lower tummy. Let's come back into plank. So keeping your weight slightly forward as you creep your right foot back. Remember, tabletop is an alternative. If you need to bring the knees down, that's okay. So shoulders beyond the crease of your wrists. A slight rounding through your upper back, so you're not collapsing into the spine and you're not collapsing into the lower tummy. So keep drawing that space in and up. Another slow breath in. And then downwards facing as you exhale. Deep and slow breath in. As you exhale through the mouth, relax the face. Taking the left foot forward in between the hands. This time option, reach the arms forward and up. So lifting into crescent lunge. Really slow and steady, no need to hurry, no need to rush. Take your sweet time. Lengthening and reaching out of your waist. Let's take the hands to the floor. As you bring your right foot forward, keep your feet slightly apart. Again, deep bend in the knees. Draw the lower tummy in, so we're active through the lower belly, Mula Bandha. Let the arms reach forward. Again, just pause here, check in with what you need. You can keep the arms where they are, creep them up by your ears. Let's bring the hands together and press them together to activate the front of the chest. And then twisting in the other direction. So chest forward, tailbone points back. Hook the elbow as you press palms together. Let the elbows move away from each other. If you're comfortable, look over the opposite shoulder. Take another slow breath in. As we exhale, forward fold. Let's come into ragdoll. So your feet as wide as they need to be. Make sure your knees are really soft. Either let your hands just dangle on your mat or grab opposite elbow. Relax your face entirely. Yeah. Let the crown of your head reach toward the space in between your toes. And then slow breath in through the nose. Blubber the lips as you exhale. And again, deep breath in. Blubber the lips. Release the hands to the floor. Let's take the feet as wide as the mat, turning the toes out. And then bring your hips down. So you come into your yogi squat, into malasana. Hands together, elbows inside of knees. If this is really uncomfortable for you, you can always perch onto something. So you can always take a block. You can always perch if that gives you a little bit more support. And if your heels are off the floor, don't give yourself a hard time. Yeah, you can always roll your mat up for support under the heels. Take the feet a little bit wider if that assists you. Or just be okay with where you are, because where you are is exactly where you need to be right now. So all I want you to think about is just dropping the weight down as much as you can. but let there be lengthening through the spine, through the crown of the head, and feel as though your heart is moving forward, like it's expanding and exploding out of your ribcage. Steady breaths. And then take the hands to the ground, let the hips lift up as you walk your toes back together. Come to fingertips as you look forward, take a slow and steady breath in. And let's come back to downwards facing dog, stepping the feet back as you exhale. So just taking a couple of breaths here. Remember, if that needs to be something more restorative, that's okay. You can come to tabletop, you can come to child's pose. Or if you're quite happy here, just allowing yourself to settle into the shape. Pressing actively into your index finger and thumb. Allow your armpits to move away from your mat, so you're really expanding and lengthening through your side body. Sitting bones lifting up. Thighs pressing back, heels melting downward. We'll take the weight into the left leg, let the right leg sweep up to sky, toes pointed. Bring the knee forward and step the foot between hands. Bring the back heel to the floor, look forward, let's come to warrior one. Take the arms forward and up, so the hips and shoulders are facing forward. If this is uncomfortable for your back knee, come onto the ball of the back foot, that's okay. Reaching and lengthening out of your waist. And I want you to be really mindful, if you can, between the space between your pubic bone and your navel. So really try and draw that space in to protect your lower back. And if it feels really comfortable, you could look up to your thumbs and take it into an upper back bend. But making sure that your breath is guiding you right now. If you're holding your breath, just checking with where you can ease out, where you can back out. Let's take the hands behind back, interlace fingers. Deep breath in to prepare. Lift your heart, expand through collarbones. Exhale forward into humble warrior. Let the shoulder move to the knee. Let your chin draw into the chest. Arms reaching away from your lower back. Bowing your head down towards your big toe. Steady and slow breath, filling your belly, your ribs, your shoulders. Bringing your attention into your little left toe. Gluing into your mat. Last breath here. And then both hands to the floor. Framing your front foot. Lift your back heel. Let's take a twist. Left arm, left hand down, right arm reaches up. The back knee can be down here. If you need more support, that's okay. Really try and lift up and out of your left wrist. Reaching through your right fingertips. If you feel really supersonic, you can look up to your thumb if that feels okay for you. Take another breath. Wonderful. And then take the right hand to the ground, inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot a little bit wider so that your hands are underneath your shoulders. Again, option, the back knee can be down. We're going to try and bring the right knee to the upper right arm. So we're going to come into a supported plank. Take the right foot off the floor so the knee is pointing forward. The foot is pointing back. Really pressing the floor away, lifting through lower tummy. And three-legged dog. Take the right leg high as you press the chest back in space. Deep breath. And as you exhale, bring the foot back in between hands. Look forward. Bring the left knee to the floor. Pulling the toes behind you. And let the arms reach forward and up. Low lunge. Settle into your hips. Expanding with each breath. Softening. Releasing and grounding. And then from here, let's bring the hands onto the thigh. And really is an opportunity to ground and find space. Lifting through the lower belly, so we're supporting through the lower back. If you felt really comfortable, begin to draw the shoulder blades back. Again, opportunity to keep the hands exactly where they are, or reach them up to the ceiling. And this time maybe you look up to your thumbs. Coming into an upper back bend, deepening your breath. Let's look forward in space. Take the hands to the floor. Come off the back knee, tuck the toes under and find plank, right foot back. We're taking chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin as you lower down. In and up through up dog or cobra. And then let's come back to child's pose. Just taking the hips back. Relaxing the head. Relaxing your face. And then let's come back into downwards facing. So again, making space along the back of the legs. Let the heels move down. Let the front thighs lift up. Pressing the chest back as your armpits move away from the floor. So I really want you to feel as though, rather than collapsing down into your joints, you're moving away from them. You're pressing the floor away to make space. Take the weight into the right leg. Left leg lifts up to sky. Bring the foot between hands. Warrior one. Pivot the back heel to the floor. Look forward and reach the arms forward and up. And again, check in. You know, there's so much power in going slowly. Check in with how it feels for you. How do your hips feel? Does your back foot need to be a little bit further out to the side? Yeah. Does your back heel need to be off the floor so there's no tension in your back knee? Can you draw a little bit more attention into your lower tummy, reaching and lengthening through your fingertips? Take the hands behind back, interlace fingers, and then I want you to move a digit forward. Yeah, lift and expand, deep breath in. And then slowly forward as you exhale, humble warrior, shoulder to the knee. If that's where you're at, stay there. If you can slide the shoulder down the inside of the leg, that's cool, okay. Go further if that feels comfortable. Head bowing to the foot, arms reaching away from back. Slow and steady breath. Last breath here. Hands to the floor, either side of front foot, let the back heel lift. Prepare for your twist, right hand stays grounded as your left arm reaches to sky. And again, if you need to, back knee on the floor. Otherwise, the back knee stays off the ground, reaching and lengthening through your arms. Let's take the left hand down. Take it to the inside of your foot. Come off the back knee if you've grounded it. We want to try and bring the knee to the tricep of the left arm, so above the elbow. So squeeze the knee in. Take your weight slightly forward as you point your left toes behind you. So the foot's off the ground. Keep pressing and lifting through the hips. One more breath, you can do it. Good, three-legged dog. Take the left leg nice and high, chest back. And then the foot lands back in between the hands. The right knee comes down, point the toes back. You made it. Reach the arms forward and up. And just take a moment, drop into the space. Drop into your hips, feel that heaviness, that groundedness through your feet. And let's take the hands to the thigh. Just take a moment. Pressing into the top of the back foot. It's like you're energetically moving your right thigh forward as you energetically press your left foot down and back. So it's a real drawing together of the space and energy underneath you. As you find that solidity and that grounding and heaviness through the lower body, perhaps there's opportunity to make space in the upper body. If that feels too vulnerable right now, just stay here, that's okay. Otherwise, we could think about peeling the shoulders back, reaching the arms up, palms together, look up to your thumbs. Slow and steady breath. And then chin to chest, look forward, hands to the floor. And let's come back to plank. Stepping the left foot back. Inhale, we hold. And then exhale, either chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Snaking through into cobra. Breathe in. Let's exhale, come back to belly. We'll do that again into cobra, lifting through the ribs. And exhale to lower. Last time, lift and hold. Minimal effort through your hands here. So just check that you're not collapsing into your hands. Press into all of your toenails, even your little toe. Glue into your mat, lifting up through the fronts of the thighs.
One more breath. And then release down, make a pillow for your head. Elbows out to the side. And then just relax your heels. Let your heels flop out to the side. Relax your belly. And just take a moment to sit with whatever physical sensations you feel right now. Either continue to stay here if you're really comfy on your belly, or come back to a child's pose. So hands come under the shoulders, and then move the hips back to the heels. And then take a moment here, as you stay in child's pose, just to bring your attention back to your sankalpa, to your intention. What is it that you needed from this time on your mat today? What is it that you came onto your mat to discover? Just a sweet reminder of why you deserve this time. And then when you're ready, come back into downward facing dog. Let your hips lift up to sky, pressing and grounding through your fingertips. I'll take the weight into the left leg, take the right leg high, but I want you to keep your hips really square here. So just notice if there's a tendency to let your right hip roll out. So try and square the hips. The pelvis is neutral. And then activate your right leg. Broaden the sole of your foot like you're kicking somebody away from you. So really active and powerful right leg. And from here, I'm going to ask you just to walk your hands back, maybe halfway. So you're in a really short little downward facing dog. So your right leg is still lifted, the hips are still square, the right foot's still broad. And then if you can, rise onto the ball of your left foot. From here, bend the left knee with the heel lifted, and just see if you can tilt your pelvis so that your sitting bones are lifting up, allowing the right leg to lift even higher. Keep the right leg as high as you can and your tailbone lifted as you press your left heel down and the back of your knee to the back of the mat. And then walk your hands a little bit further back. So you're almost in a standing split. Try and keep your hips square. Try that again, rise onto the ball of the foot. Bend the knee with your heel lifted so that you can really send your sitting bones high, right leg even higher. Keep that lifted as you press the heel down and knee back. Oh, and then bring your feet together at the back of your mat, relax your knees, slide the hands under your feet. One by one we'll come into Padahastasana. So bringing your toes toward the crease of your wrist. Don't worry if they don't quite find your wrists, but I want you just to creep your fingers back, your toes forward, and then lift your spine away from your thighs and look forward. Deep breath in. As you exhale, pull on your feet and fold forward, relax your head down. Stay there as you continue with your breath. Belly resting on thighs, back of knees are soft. Let your elbows just soften out to the sides. Slow breath. And then one by one, release your hands, look forward. And then like you're creeping in the night, walk back into downward facing dog. Taking the weight again into the left leg. Take the right leg high, deep breath in, keep the hips square. Bring the knee to the nose as you exhale, round your back, come into plank. And then inhale, right leg lifts up, keep your hips square. Across to the left elbow, exhale, forward with your shoulders. Inhale, right leg rises. Last time to the right elbow, exhale, forward. And inhale to rise. Exhale to nose again, this time bring the foot between the hands. From here, let's pivot the back heel down. And we'll come into extended side angle. So this is where you can grab your block if you need, taking it to the inside of your foot, either on the low, the middle, or upper level. Or if you're comfortable to bring your hand onto the floor, go ahead and do that. Yeah. If this all feels too much, just lift up and bring your forearm onto your thigh. There's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean that you're doing less yoga, okay? I'm going to be here, so I'm going to show you the alternative if hand on the floor doesn't work for you. So I'm going to be forearm on thigh. I want you to all reach your left arm forward. Keep reaching it forward. So don't change the position of the arm, but then begin to look underneath your left armpit, inviting you to spin your ribs, even your gaze underneath your left arm. Reaching through fingertips, lengthening through your left side body. Take a slow and steady breath. And then lift into warrior two. Left arm back, right arm forward so the chest lifts. Hips and shoulders facing the left side of your mat. Slow and steady breath. From here, let's extend the front leg. Begin to reach forward through your right fingertips. Keep reaching forward. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. And then take your hand down either to your block, inside of the foot, or take your hand to the shin, ankle. As your left arm reaches up, we come into triangle pose. And I want you to do your best here to bring your attention to the space between your shoulder blades. And feel that space moving back by an inch. Lengthening and expanding through your back body. Take another breath, slow and steady inhale. As you breathe out, let's look down, bend the knee, reach back into warrior two. Okay, so from here we're going to find half moon. You can use your block or bring the right hand down to the floor. Begin to walk your back foot forward. Right hand underneath the shoulders, you take your weight into the right leg, left leg behind lifts up. Your left hand can be on the hip if you need. You can reach it up to the ceiling if that's comfortable. Keep looking down if you feel really unsteady. There's nothing wrong with that. If you feel like a superhero, you can look up to your thumb. Wherever you are, stay with your breath. Another slow inhale. And as we breathe out, let's come back to warrior two. Like a feather, step the left foot back. Windmill the arms. Inhale, we open. Exhale, we find downwards facing dog. If you want to take a vinyasa in between that, then go ahead, knock yourself out. Otherwise, just step back to downwards facing dog. Slow and steady breath. After the storm, always coming back to stillness. And the breath is such a powerful medium to find that space, to find that stillness. When everything outside of us is crazy and uncertain, the breath has so much power. So each time, just come back to that space. Let's take the weight into the right leg. Take the left leg high behind you. Keep your hips square. Left leg active, foot broad. And then walk your hands a little bit further back. So like you're in a half variation of down dog. Keep the hips square. Your left hip might want to turn out. So try and keep your pelvis really neutral. Rise onto the ball of the right foot. Bend your knee with your heel off the floor. And see if you can just lift your sitting bones even higher. Extend your left leg even higher. And then keep your hips and your left leg where it is as you send your right heel down and your knee back. Walk your hands a little bit further back. They may still be in front of the foot and that's okay. And then try again for me. Come onto the ball of the foot. Might be a little harder and that's okay. Bend your knee. Lift your hips and your left leg even higher. Keep them where they are as you extend your right leg and you bring your heel down. Bring the feet together. Relax your knees. Take your feet about hips width apart. This time let's bring our first two fingers around the big toe. So hook them under palms face each other, elbows loose out to the side. Peel your spine away from your thighs, look forward as you breathe in. And then exhale, fold forward, relax your head. Take a few moments. And then again, slowly release your toes. Like a fox in the night, creep back into downwards facing dog. So weight into the right leg, take the left leg high, keep the hips square and the foot broad. Bring the knee to the nose as you arch your back, shoulders forward to plank. Inhale, take it high behind you. And then across to the right, exhale, shoulders forward. Inhale, let it rise. Exhale to the left elbow. Inhale, let it rise. Exhale to the nose, bring the foot between hands, spin your back heel to the floor. Extended side angle. So again, option, forearm to the thigh. If you feel comfortable, hand onto your mat, either inside a foot or use a block or a prop. I'm going to be forearm on thigh if you want to stay with me. Take your right arm forward across the face, across the chest. Keep reaching it forward, but look underneath your arm. So you're spinning your ribs, your chest, the abdomen, underneath, looking underneath the armpit. Reaching and lengthening through fingertips. Energetically pressing into your little right toe, back of mat. And let's come into warrior two. Keep the front knee bent as you reach up and expand. Dropping down into your hips. Dropping into your pelvis. From here, let's extend the front leg. Reach forward with your left fingertips. And rather than just coming straight down from here, I really want you to reach out and lengthen from your hip. So you're really expanding through your side body without losing that space. And then go ahead and bring the hand down. Again, option to your block, to the shin or calf if you're comfortable. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Can you bring your attention to that space just behind your heart? And if you can, move that part of your spine back by an inch. Let's look to the floor, bend the knee, warrior two. Inhale, we rise up. And exhale, prepare half moon. So begin to reach forward and down. As you walk your left hand in front, bring your back foot, hop it forward. Transfer the weight into your half moon. So your your left thumb in line with your little left toe. Right leg in the air is active, turned out, foot is broad. Reaching through your right arm. Fixing your gaze, slow breath. Like a feather, land in warrior two. Deep breath in. And exhale, either take your plank, chaturanga, or come back into downwards facing dog. Deep inhale. And then make some sound, let it go. No one can hear you. Do it again, deep breath in. One more time. Good. Over here, let's look to the hands. And it might be that you step, or it might be that you hop your feet to the outside of your hands, toes turning slightly out. We'll come back down into Malasana. So hips down, hands together. Elbows pressing the knees away, but equally the knees are pressing back into the arms. Otherwise we just collapse. So really try and find space and length. We can either hang out here, maybe even closing the eyes. Just take a few breaths, pausing and checking in. You can continue to be here for a few more moments. Or we can explore crow, bakasana, taking flight, spreading our wings. If that feels too soon, that's okay. Just stay where you are, and that's completely where you need to be. So honouring that. Otherwise we explore. So bringing the hands to the floor, shoulder width like you would for down dog or plank. The knees into the triceps. Take your weight forward, bend your arms, look forward so your drishti is beyond the top of your mat without creasing the back of the neck. So don't look forward so that your neck is creased and overstretched. Lengthen, but look forward with your eyes. It'll make all the difference, I promise. And then if you feel comfortable, you're either going to just rock forward and back, get used to transferring your weight into your hands. Or maybe together you can bring your feet off the floor and then point your toes. Bring your toes together, lift your heels up towards your seat. Keep pressing the floor away. Keep hugging your knees in toward each other. Steady breath, you've got this. Staying if you can for 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet down. Take a moment. Come back to that really steady, familiar and calm breath. Okay, my lovelies. So from here, again, your choice if you're feeling really energetic. You can move through a vinyasa, come back into plank, move through chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Or like me, you can just step back to downward facing dog. So whatever you're working through, take your time to get there. And eventually, coming into downward facing dog. So we're going to bring our energy down onto the mat now. So let's take pigeon position with the right leg. So bringing it through, the knee to the right, back of wrist, the foot to the left, the toes pointing backward, the knee in line with the right hip. And if this is really uncomfortable for you, I want you to come out of it immediately. Don't feel like you have to push through it, okay? Don't feel like you need to push through pain. It won't get better, I promise, it will just exacerbate. So if this position just isn't working, please come into the recline variation, which I'll quickly show you. So lie on your back, feet on the floor, knees pointing up, and then cross your right ankle over your left, and then point the right knee forward so you're opening the front of the hip, expanding through the pelvis. You're either going to stay in the shape with the hips down, or press, or draw your hands through, either taking the back or the front of the left knee. Keep the feet active, hugging in. Yeah, staying here for a few breaths. Otherwise, you'll be in your front lying pigeon. Arms can be reached out in front. And they can be underneath the head, relaxing the face. And just noticing whatever sensation you're experiencing in your body without any judgment. So don't give yourself a hard time if you feel tight or if your body feels full of sensation. If that's the case, don't worry about it. You're here now and you're doing your best. If you're still in the recline variation like me, come on out, come up to your seat. If you're in pigeon on your front, lift gently up and then sweep your back leg forward, so your left leg is going to come forward, keeping the right foot bent, the right knee bent. Take the foot into the thigh. I'm going to turn slightly so you can see me. So your left leg is outstretched, your right knee bent. Let the head of the knee fall towards your mat. If this feels uncomfortable or if you find there's resistance here, take anything that you have available, whether that's your pillow or your jumper, or if you have a prop, then bringing underneath your knee can be really useful. So facing the extended leg, let's reach our arms all the way up. Slow, deep breath in. And then reaching forward and down as we exhale. Let your hands land wherever they land, if that's on the floor, the shin, or the foot. If you have a strap, you can bring it around the sole of the foot. Relax the arms and the elbows. Lifting the heart to the front body is open, and try not to lose that space as you fold. You want to keep the space expanding through the front body, reaching your chin beyond your knee toward your shin. Slow and steady breaths. As slowly release, come all the way up.
And just a little bit of movement here. So bringing your right hand behind you. Let your left arm reach across as you inhale. And then as you exhale, left hand can be down, right arm reaches forward toward the foot. We'll do that again. So take the hand behind you as you inhale, left arm across. Maybe this time your hips lift up and you come into maybe a little bit of an arm balance. And then exhale, hips down, reach opposite hand to foot. Try that a few more times. Reaching across with left arm, lifting the hips, expanding through your front body, and then hips down and reach forward. Last time, let's say a little bit longer. So hand behind, maybe the hips stay down, maybe they lift up. But if your hips are lifted, I really want you to press your pubic bone forward in space. So you're really expanding through the front body, making room, releasing tension. And then come all the way back down to seated. Take your right leg and extend it out in front. Give your knees a little shimmy. From here, let's cross the feet. You can either just bring them around behind you, come back into downwards facing dog. Or if you want to practice your little vinyasa, bring the feet behind, knees in toward the chest. Lift the hips as you bring the hands to the mat, and then maybe you hop back into chaturanga. Upwards facing dog. Downwards facing dog. So pigeon on the other side now. Taking the shin to the back of the wrists. Walking the opposite knee and foot behind you, making space. Remember, your alternative is to lie down. Crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. Point the left knee forward and then hug everything in towards you. Yeah. Otherwise, if you're in the prone position, bringing yourself forward and down, relaxing your face for a moment. So remember, our practice today is just allowing whatever to be, to be. So whether that is tightness or sensation, frustration, agitation, joy, whatever it might be, just allowing it to be there, allowing it to surface without finding an explanation. Knowing that these feelings and emotions are transient and they will pass. Take another breath. Slowly release if you're in the supine variation. If you're lying down, come up and join. And then bring your right leg out in front. The left knee is bent, the foot hugs in toward the inner left thigh. Again, I'm just going to turn around so that you can see. So we're here. Again, support the left thigh and knee if you need. Let the arms reach up to lengthen. And this really is an opportunity for you to keep space. Otherwise, what tends to happen is that we move from the spine. Yeah. So we want to lengthen and keep that space, and then pivot forward from your hips. Keep moving from the hips until you have no movement left, and then allow the spine to melt forward and down. Deep and long inhales, and slow and steady exhales. One more like that. Slow breath in, and slow breath out. Gently walk the hands back up. Let's take the left hand behind, reach the right arm across the body, and inhale. Maybe the hips stay down on the first time, and then exhale across, left hand to right foot. Let's try that again, maybe a bit more dynamically. Lift up, inhale, the hips come off the floor. And then exhale, hips down, reach across and fold. One more time, see if we can lift up and hold. Really pressing into the parts of the body that are grounded, and then expand through the body that is opening and lifting. Bring the hips to the floor, reach across one more time and fold. And then slowly coming back up to your seat. Bringing both legs out in front. Give your knees a little shimmy. And then from here, just begin to walk your feet in towards you. So bending your knees, sitting in between your sacrum. So go ahead and find that for me. So sit all the way back until you kind of feel your lower back. You feel the sacrum. And then go ahead and find your sitting bones. And then I want you to find the space in between. So find the fleshy part in between your sacrum, the end of the spine, and then your sitting bones. Sit into that space, walk your feet towards you. At this point, me personally, I already feel my belly kind of going, oh, haven't worked in a while, right? So it might be this is where you hang out. You can bring your knees together. You can even bring your hands underneath your knees. You can totally stay here. You can reach your arms forward. Again, if this was enough, you're going to stay here. Maybe you could bring one foot off without changing the dimension of your seat, of where you are placed with your weight. If you can bring your other foot off the floor, happy days. But if you end up moving back here, come back onto your sacrum, it's not worth doing. You're better off being here. So just be kind, be patient. Keep squeezing your knees together. Keep hugging your knees in towards your chest at the same time, reaching your arms out in front. And I do this because I care about you. I do this because I love you, right? Stay with your breath. You've got this. 3. Keep pulling your knees in. Keep reaching your fingers forward. 2. And 1. Good. Bring the feet down. And then just let yourself drape forward. Relax your arms. Relax your head. And then from here, super slowly, we're just going to come and lie down. So nice and gently. You deserved a lie down moment. So we're nearly there. Just a couple more offerings before you creep into your relaxation. So I'm going to ask you to bend your knees and bring your feet flat onto the ground. Knees are pointing up, toes are pointing forward. Let the arms come by your side. And all I want you to explore is a movement of the pelvis. So press into the feet without lifting your hips, and allow your lower back to flatten down onto your floor, onto your mat. So your tailbone is curling up, the pelvis rotating forward, and then arch your back. So your tailbone is going to point down, and your pelvis is going to point back. And then keep moving like that. So curling the pelvis forward, the back flattening, and then curling the pelvis back as the back arches. Keep moving between those two. There's a really sweet undulation of your pelvis, of your spine. This is a great movement to explore if you have lower back, if you explore lower back discomfort, and also for period pain. This can be a really nice movement just to ease any tension that might be sitting in your lower back. And then the next time that your pelvis is pointing forward, keep that space. So you're really engaging the back of the thighs, the glutes are gently engaging, the lower tummy flattening as your lower back presses down onto your mat. The pelvis is pointing forward. And then from here, maybe you feel comfortable to lift the hips off the ground. Maybe. Making a little bit more space along the back line of the body. Arms going to be by your side. If you're comfortable, come onto the ridges of your shoulders. So you're making a little bit more space. You can even bring the hands underneath you, interlace the fingers, and then really actively press into your feet, into your big toes. Lifting and lengthening through the front of the thighs, the hips, the pelvis opening. Steady breath. One more breath. Don't rush, take your time. And then slowly release your hands and peel slowly down, all the way onto your backs. Take the feet a little bit wider, keep your knees bent, and then let the knees fall together. Hand onto the belly, hand onto your heart.
And just a check-in. So one more offering of a back bend, and it might be that you stay with that variation. You might even want to come back to that just really small yet powerful undulation of the pelvis, that movement of the pelvis rocking forward and back. Or you may wish to come back into supported bridge, where you lift up through the lower back. If you have a little bit more energy to give, and you want to explore your bridge position, take the hands by the ears, fingers pointing back, coming onto the top of the head, and maybe coming all the way up. Let the head relax, look in between your thumbs. Taking as many moments there as you feel comfortable. And then when you're ready, draw the chin in, let the back of the head come down, and bring yourself back onto the floor. Again, feet wide, knees together, hand under heart and belly. What a wonderful gift you've given yourself today. This time on your mat with your breath, exploring movement in your incredible body. So bring the feet together, let your knees remain pointed upward. And then if you feel comfortable, cross your right leg over your left. So your thighs are together, there's no space in between them. And let's bring the knees over to the left, the hips to the right, and come into a spinal twist. The left hand can be on the knee to invite the knee to the ground as the right arm reaches away from the body, expanding through your belly, your chest, your collarbone. And then gently come on back. Uncrossing the feet, and then left leg over. Let the knees fall to one side as the hips move to the other. Again, hand to the knee to invite the knee down. Reaching the opposite arm away to expand through your middle and upper back. And if you haven't already, just really slowing the breath down now. Yeah, coming back to center. And the most important position of all, Shavasana. Taking your feet as wide as your mat, arms wherever they need to be, away from you or on you. Wiggle your jaw from side to side, let go of any lasting hold. And this is your opportunity now. This is your opportunity now to let go of any last effort that you've maintained over your body, over your breath, over your mind. And just really honouring whatever it is that you feel as you come into this space of stillness.
If you need to spend any longer, please don't rush, take your time. I invite you though, when you're ready, to start bringing your attention back to your body, your amazing body. Finding some movement, deepening your breath, maybe reaching your arms back behind you. Take a deep and slow breath in, fill yourself up, and then sigh it out. And again, deep breath in, and let it go. And one by one, bring your knees into your belly. Give yourself the biggest embrace. An embrace of gratitude, of utter gratitude to yourself. Thanking yourself for taking this time out for you. Gently roll over to one side. When you're ready to come up, join me in a seat. Keep your eyes closed. We'll bring palms together in front of the heart, and I really want you to bow to yourself. Bow to your extraordinary self. Giving thanks to this moment, giving thanks to this opportunity to practice, to go within, to learn, to find patience, to find space. Finding gratitude to our teachers, present and past, for sharing and carrying on this ancient practice of yoga. And gratitude to Mother Earth for all that she is doing and all that she is holding right now. Let's come together and chant. Take a deep breath in, exhale it out. Inhale, prepare. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Lastly, I wish to extend my love and my gratitude to you. Thank you so much for joining me and taking this time out to share. I am always here. Love and blessings to you. Namaste.